Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Albany James, and I'm so happy to be here. Welcome everybody to our second session. And today we're going to make it short. I'm so happy. My partners, transition partners and founders are very supportive of my initiatives, and we're doing this. We're doing this for all the founders, all the first-time and second-time founders. And if you have any input, you want us to address the issue, you want us to talk about a certain thing you are going through, get ready to join our founder garage where we could discuss more issues. Before wasting any time, let's hit it. Yep. So people have shared a lot of data in terms of why do startups fail and some of the reasons. They discussed a lot of reasons, and one of the reasons that they discussed about was a founding team, and which is on our first session we talked about founding team being one of the factors that could be considered as unfair advantage when you have a great founding team, when you have skills that complement each other, you have more you have more ability to sustain in a startup ecosystem than the people with no diverse team. Basically the opposite. So we talked about team being one of the factors that could give you or could give one startup unfair advantage, but also we're talking about a team being one of the factors that could kill your startup if your team is not like I know some of my startups died because of the team itself. I know a lot of friends that went away, and a lot of friends that started startups with their friends that couldn't even stay for 1 year, two. So it depends. Now, it being a very important factor, that's why we're putting it on the table. And you know what, without wasting any time, let's talk about this. So today we're talking about how could you and where, like, for example, how and where one would find a co-founder for your startup. And we have known, like, only in the universe, if you take of like almost all the companies, there's only the data. There was a research that was done in the US, I think, I don't know, maybe global, and they took a number of founders in like 1,000 unicorns, right? So they did, a unicorn is like a massive company, like a startup that, made it, basically. So they took like 1,000 of them, and they realized only 25% of that, of those unicorns were made up with only one founder. The rest were made up by multiple founders. Now, the multiple founding or founders were not specific whether it's two, it's basically from 2 and above. So that makes 75% of the startups in the universe, if approximately more than 60% of the startups in the universe are made or are created by multiple founders. So as you can see, you might need a co-founder, but also if you get I don't know, a mismatch, I'm not going to say a bad one. If you get a mismatch in terms of your co-founder making a founding team, then that factor can act as a disadvantage in terms of the growth of your startup. But if you get a good team in terms of like a good co-founder, we normally talk about 1 + 0. 1 is what you have, 0 is what you don't have. So you need to look for a co-founder that has what you don't have so that you can complement each other. Now, if you get 1 + 1, then you can create internal fight, and then us and the external will start saying, no, Said is better than him, her, or whatever. Yeah, so it's very important to focus on this. Now, where would you get these co-founders? Like basically, where did I get the co-founders? And this is the research that comes from a lot of other people that I spoke to. Yeah. So the first thing that people go for is their personal network, basically friends. Yeah. So think about your close friends and make notes on who you think would be cool, to start something with, and why. This is something people don't want to talk about. Why? You see, like if you have a lot of friends and then you say Geoffrey is good, I can start something with Geoffrey. Why? Why Geoffrey? Why not, Susan? Why not Ibra? So you need to think about those guys and write some notes. Well, who would be cool to work with, and why? Focus on why. They say if you ask a person why 10 times, they might give you, the actual reason. So I'm saying, just ask yourself why. If you get a vague answer, oh, why? Why again? Why again? Until you get to the reason why, you might realize you just like the way he has a nice haircut, or the way she played her hair, or whatever. Just you need to focus, right? And then the second way on this personal network you could find a co-founder is using friends of friends. Your friends, your friends have like good friends that you network with. You could use those, friends of friends whom you might, not know as well, but still have like, a personal connection to, or another potential source of business partner. So basically, if I'm friends with Sharon and Sharon knows, Esther or Hannah, and then slowly I might get to know, I don't know, Casey. Like basically, I just friend of your friend that you could actually trust and you could get into business with. So this is very important. So you also need to know why, right? And of course, because he's not, or she or he is not your friend, straight you have to speak to your friend to know more about that person. Basically, get to know all the nitty-gritty details. Yeah. On the same personal network, we all know university is a space for like massive and diversity of talents. So try to get to know people in your classes. Social circles, and who have like certain skills that you might need, or traits that what you look for in a co-founder that could complement what you have. That's what I'm saying. Ask yourself why. You could also do this by just the fourth way is previous jobs. You could get colleagues from the jobs that you have done. This is also another way to find a co-founder. So in terms of the personal network, we talked about friends. In the second, we talked about friends of friends. We talked about university, and we talked about previous jobs. Yeah, you could also find a co-founder here. And then the second method for me I used to use is social network. So personal network, then social network. So on the social network, we're talking about Twitter, social media platform like Twitter, provide opportunities to connect with like-minded people outside of your own personal circles. If you cannot touch on your personal circles, you could try social media and start with Twitter, where you could have like-minded people with certain type of views like you. And then the second way on social network, you have Reddit. Reddit is just basically a subreddit dedicated to find. Basically, this is a platform dedicated to find a co-founder, and but you try to position yourself on this contact of entrepreneurs and who are also looking for co-founders. So basically, you find you in so many other people there registered to look for co-founders. So you might be that co-founder, they might be your co-founders. So this platform like this really helps, and in terms of like bringing people together. And some of the way people took it for granted, take it for granted, is LinkedIn. Since LinkedIn is a social network, yes, but it's basically sometimes strictly for professionals. It's another way, it's another place to actually find your co-founder. You could definitely find a co-founder there. We found a lot of people building businesses. Yeah. So the third methodology, because today is a short session requested by some of our startups, is matchmaking sites. You have a lot of matchmaking sites. One of it is YC, YC, Y Combinator. they have a co-founder matching platform. If you don't know what Y Combinator is, Y Combinator, the world's largest startup accelerator. Currently, it offers a free co-founder matching programs where you could just go somewhere, you could type your text there, whoever you're looking for, and then somebody will answer. You can have a discussion there, and you can match. Yeah. We also have a TSA in Tanzania, Tanzania Startup Association. We have a group. If you ask Zahoro, who is the CEO of TSA, could happily join you in this group, where you could find other entrepreneurs in there. If you're looking for a co-founder, you could basically text and people could reply. And I'm looking for co-founder right now, and I got one from basically a CTO from the group, from that methodology using TSA. Yeah, so, and then the other one is Co-Founder Lab. These are matchmaking sites. We have Co-Founder Lab that does exactly that. So it has a network of entrepreneurs, as I say. If you're seeking for co-founder and mentors and advisors, this is the place to be. It's called Co-Founder Lab. You could Google that, and you could, and then kuna StartHawk is online platform too. Is dedicated to helping startup founders meet their co-founder to get started. Create a free profile, on site, and enter all the details about yourself and your business idea. If somebody likes it, they will definitely reach out and do that. Yeah, and the last methodology that I used and I tell people to use is the use of online communities. Hindi Arkas is an online community of entrepreneurs and special group called, if you're looking up for business partners whatsoever, we have a lot of online communities. One of them is called Looking to Partner Up. Looking to Partner Up. If you look for this social community, you could have yourself an access of getting a fellow co-founder. And this actually works, right? It works because you bump into people who think and want to be where you want to be. And then some of it is also, you could go to Founders List. Founders List, if you're in the market for co-founder, try creating a profile on Founders List. Then you can filter through the list of people. If you go to Founders List, it will give you how you could get the best out of it. So basically, Founders List is one of those online communities you could also tap into in terms of you looking for your co-founder. And this Founders Institute that my friends and I remember last year, we were the only team still organizing, managing Founders List here. I mean Founders Institute. So the Founders Institute basically was founded in 2009 by serial entrepreneurs Adele Resi and his colleague. Yeah. The company basically has played an important role in assisting entrepreneurs in making their ideas a reality. Those in Silicon Valley. So you could just basically learn from other founders, and so basically founders like peer-to-peer learning basically. So the Founder Institute also could qualify as an online communities where you could be able to find a co-founder, mentor, advisors, and so forth. Yeah. So some of the ways that I actually use a lot, and this is my personal traits, sharing my personal experience, is events and conferences. Startup focused. Basically startup focused. Events and conferences is another way to actually meet a potential co-founder. Some events I even went, and then there's like founder speed dating, where they aim to match you up with another person who thinks and acts like you. And I think Antler in Nairobi does this best. They take you as a person, and then they find a way to match you up with somebody who basically has something that you don't. So that's I find it very interesting model Antler is using, because they understand that co-founder or a partner, business partner, is a very important asset in terms of building a sustainable startup. Yeah, and then some of the other ways is incubators, accelerators, startup accelerators, startup incubators like Anzisha. You find sometimes 2 people are coming with this product, and then 2 other people are coming with that product, and 2 other people are coming with that product. And then when you look at the traits and look at the way they found their teams, we come to realize that I think these 2 are better than these 2. So we find we kind of like mismatch and kind of like, I don't know, take them apart and try to explain to them why you and you are better off than, like, you understand. So accelerators can also play a big role, because one of the very initial stages in incubating or accelerating a product is basically helping them to formulate a team that could have taken the start to the next phase. So basically, those are my 2 cents in terms of how one could find a co-founder, and how important is it to basically have a co-founder. So if you have any questions, drop me in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. This is just a short video on how and where you could find a co-founder. So let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.